This business exists for a reason because people needs it.
Right.
People needs life insurance. That's not
Unfortunately,
gonna
we all
ever
die.
change. We're gonna
Yeah.
all die. That's not gonna ever change. Uh, my thing is with and you hear the stats, 10% make it or whatever. I don't know the exact number, but I know for a fact that not a lot of people make it in this business, and I think it is because they are not treating it the way that it should to be
Okay.
treated as. Treat it as your business. I always say
Right.
that
And not
this
a
is
nine to
my
five.
business. This is my business. Hardly any upfront cost. I mean, outside couple of hundreds to contract and couple of hundreds to get licensed for the most part. You can, if you've ever said, oh, I can do so and so if I only have,
This and
the,
that.
the, the
Right.
capital. Here we go. You don't have capital. This is where you prove yourself. If you have work ethics.
Fire. Fire.
Welcome, Senior Life family, to another All Fired Up podcast. I'm your host, Will Voorhees, and today I'm joined by Niemat Issa. And Niemat, how are we feeling today?
All fired up, Will.
That's awesome. So for anybody that's not seen you yet in the videos or the podcast, kind of just give some general background, where you came from, how you've kind of gotten into the business, and so on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, that's a long story. I'm going to try to summarize it. So, I'm originally from the Middle East, from Jordan.
Okay.
Graduated in 1993 as an occupational therapist. And in about 94, 95, I got recruited to come work here in the U.S., and that's where I came. And it was an awesome move.
A
Came to
big move,
Jacksonville.
too,
Yes,
yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, definitely. A lot of people ask me, was it a culture change, culture shock? I'm
Right.
like, it is a change. It wasn't a shock because being in the medical field in Jordan, I mean, we deal with a lot of Europeans, American,
Okay.
and actually the college I went to was a British college. So
Oh, okay.
that wasn't a big thing. Language wasn't. Definitely the accent, it was the
I'm
English.
sure.
So, we want to go to the theater versus, the movies or stuff
Right.
like that.
Okay.
So, yeah, I worked as an occupational therapist for 25 years, and about 3 years ago, well, 2.5 years ago, I did everything as an occupational therapist. I did inpatient, outpatient. I actually, at one point, I partnered in an outpatient clinic,
Oh,
and it
wow.
was great. I loved it. I love working with patients. I love
Yeah.
helping people, and I mean, people called me the healer. I definitely was gifted in that sense, because I always went and in looked for more skills to help the people that I
Right.
come across every day, but couldn't make money
Okay.
as a business. I loved it. Worked 7 days a week. My husband would call me at 9 o'clock. Are you ever
We're
gonna
coming-
come home? I'm like, let me just finish this, because I did everything. I did the marketing, the billing, I did the treatment, I did the cleaning, I did it all.
Yeah.
Because it's my business.
Right,
But
your
I
baby,
couldn't,
yeah.
exactly, I couldn't make money. I couldn't pay myself for almost 3 years, so,
Oh,
well,
wow.
2.5 years. So I'm like, at that point, I'm like, I need something different where I can continue to help people. And I'm not going to lie to you, well, I have no idea anything about insurance.
Oh, I didn't
Or
either until I got this job.
finances.
Right.
Absolutely. And I just went and I saw the inn at that point is working from home. So I think I went and I looked at ZipRecruit or whatever for, working from home jobs. And I clicked on this, I clicked on that. You know how that works.
Yeah.
And then I got a couple of phone calls and I don't even know that I realized it was Senior Life until I actually contracted with Senior Life. So I finished my Excel course
I heard it was pretty fast.
in
Yeah.
2.5 days.
Nice.
Again, I'm overachiever.
Yeah.
And I don't want to wait. Anything I can control, I'm gonna do the best I can with
Yeah.
that. So, and at that point also had already registered to sit for the test. Passed it from first time because I
Nice.
did it right away after I'd finished the
Yeah.
course. Got my fingerprinting the same day I did my my test, because I don't want to waste any time.
Right, you're ready
And
to get
now
rolling.
I'm 3 days waiting on my upline. At that point is like, okay, when we're gonna go train, because we're supposed to do field training together. Again, no insurance business background, no selling background.
That's crazy.
At all. But again, I'm like, I I have to try it. I have to
Yeah.
try it. And I fell in love with it.
I mean, you're doing pretty well from what I've heard.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
six-figure
yes, sir.
earner.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, the money is great. But I'm not going to lie to you. Well, as an occupational therapist, I mean, I went up the chain. I was corporate director of rehab at one point and made great money. When I did home health, I did 180.
Wow.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
but you know why? People don't usually make that if they're just doing home health or whatever. But I worked again 6, 7 days a week,
Right.
10 hours, 12 hours,
Putting in the
whatever
time,
it
yeah.
needed. So my thing is, if I worked that hard for people, yes, they definitely paid me. Thank God for that. But I see this opportunity here at hand that is, it's perfect for my my principles and
Your
my
work
work
ethic,
ethics.
yeah.
Because if you can put that much work, you're absolutely going to succeed.
No, for sure. So, kind of to go back to the helping people, it seems like a lot of people in your group that I have interviewed have been more service oriented and helping people, and obviously the money's there. But is there any kind of stories you can think of that recently you've kind of seen you actually helping the people and like the policies providing the benefits and kind of the whole story, I guess?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So when I go meet my people, okay, I call them my people because they are really true my people. I just connect with them. I mean, I don't see it, and I tell them I always say I'm not in the business of convincing people to, on the selling side, to get a policy, or on the recruiting side to become licensed
Right.
or to come and join us. I'm not. I'm just going to give you the facts. I'm going to find if you have a need, which is, to be honest with you, 99% of the time,
Right. I mean,
we have the need.
yeah.
We have the need for either you know, again, as a policyholder or as an insurance agent, because
yeah.
senior life is the best out there, and I mean it. And that's what I always say, again, to my recruits or to my policyholders. The reason I'm actually selling senior life strictly, I can sell anyone else, but and I get all the, you know, the videos and about all the other companies, but I absolutely believe in the company from day one.
Awesome.
And actually, when I was, you know, came on board, I had a different upline, and something happened, and 2 months later, I was able, well, actually, I was changed, my upline changed to Billy Pilcher.
Okay.
And that was right there. That was what I needed,
Yeah,
because
we actually just interviewed Billy.
Wasn't he awesome, man?
Yeah, no, he's a cool guy, and I've been working a lot with him lately. And one of the things he was kind of mentioning was that you really liked the culture
Absolutely.
at this company. So I mean,
Absolutely.
if you don't mind, kind of going into that, like what specifically?
Okay, so again, I worked in corporate America, right?
Right.
And for me, when my first conference call, they started with a prayer. For
Okay.
me, that was
That was big.
it. That was
Okay.
it. Then 3 months later, we went to Orlando. We had the, I think that was the last meeting we had actually before COVID hit.
Right.
And I had the chance to sit down and obviously talk more with Billy, but met Robert Chiver. But more important to me, and again, I was just a newly licensed agent, haven't even done major
Right.
things, like I barely break 12,000, you know. Again, been with that for 3 months. And I went to introduce myself to Ron Powell. And this man talked to me and my husband for about 20 minutes. Nothing about insurance, nothing about senior life, just
Right.
wanting to know me, just super
On a personal level, yeah.
humble, down to earth, true people. And that's what I love about it. Robert Chiver is an awesome guy. Anytime we have a meeting or whatever, again, down to earth people. You
Yeah.
would never. You would never have to go through any channels or like that.
Get the
they're
runaround or anything like
absolutely
that, yeah.
accessible to us. And as I told you, Billy Belcher has been a great mentor to me on every level when it comes to this business. So
he
I
had
have,
a lot of good things to say about you.
well,
so.
thank you. I appreciate that. I look forward to hearing his podcast too.
Yeah.
I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah. And then another thing I was kind of interested on hearing about was he told me that you and your husband are both agents.
Yes, sir.
And so could you kind of tell me the story of how that, if you were the first agent, if he was the first agent, and kind of what led
Absolutely.
to, yeah.
So when I decided to that I had enough with the medical field and I wanted to find something else. So my husband, he's an awesome support, awesome, like I can't do anything without him. He's an awesome support to me. So he told me, well, you know what, pursue it and let's see. So I didn't see the money coming in right away,
Right.
because, again, I was just building my skill set and trying to figure out the business part. And he told me he'll continue with what he's doing to hold the, to pay the bills. Let's put
Right,
it that way. And then about, I want to say a little bit over a year ago, he actually got licensed. He's a catastrophe adjuster by trade. That's what he did. So he was
Okay.
on the home insurance side and as a
Gotcha.
claim adjuster. So the selling part's the same thing. He's never sold anything. He's not a salesman, but he's loving it too, and he really enjoys being out there and meeting the people.
Awesome. And so how is it working with a spouse in the industry?
It's actually awesome, man. Last week, and that was the second time I had leads in Tampa, and I didn't have agents to work there, to work those leads. So I'm like, and Lake City's about 2.5 hours
Yeah.
from Tampa. So it's like, well, let's make a trip out of it. We
That's
actually
awesome.
went there, spent 3 nights, 4 days. We took 1 day off and went just sightseeing and we did that actually 2 times so far.
That's
So
really
I mean,
cool.
it's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, of course we have to drive 2 cars or whatever, but it's amazing.
Hey, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
you get a vacation and work at the
Yes,
same time.
absolutely.
That's nice.
It was awesome.
And so I'm guessing you're primarily field sales then?
I love fields.
Okay.
I mean, nothing against telesales, and God bless all our telesales agent. But I mean, my joy come from really looking at my clients eye to eye,
Right, and the connection.
the connection. I think I'm a lot better in person. And come on, with this accent, it's very hard to sell on the phone. I mean, I did it. I actually, when COVID first hit, I did it, and I did really good. But
Okay.
so I mean, I definitely have the option if I ever decide to do telesales. But I do primarily field sales, and every now and then I'll do the telesales because I also want to be able to help my agents because I'm a doer. Okay,
Right.
so I'm not gonna tell you, oh, I heard. I'm gonna tell you I've done it. So
Right.
that's my approach in
I
life.
think it's a really important part is to learn from somebody that's actually done it.
Absolutely.
As opposed to somebody that's
and
just
still
got
doing
recruited.
it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
still doing it. Yes, sir.
And yeah, so to any agents that kind of they're either with another company or they're just discouraged because they haven't made the progress they'd want to, do you have any kind of words of wisdom?
Absolutely, man. This business exists for a reason because people needs it.
Right.
People needs life insurance. That's not
Unfortunately,
gonna
we all
ever
die,
change. We're
yeah.
gonna all die. That's not gonna ever change. My thing is with and you hear the stats, 10% make it or whatever. I don't know the exact number, but I know for a fact that not a lot of people make it in this business, and I think it is because they are not treating it the way that it should to be
Okay.
treated as. Treat it as your business. I always say
Right,
that
and
this
not a
is
9 to
my
5.
business. This is my business. Hardly any upfront cost. I mean, outside couple of hundreds to contract and couple of hundreds to get licensed. For the most part, you can. If you've ever said, "Oh, I can do so and so if I only have,
This and
the
that,
the
right.
capital." Here we go. You don't have capital. This is where you prove yourself. If you have work ethics
Right.
and that passion to grow your business, this is the right place for you.
Awesome.
Because we got every tool that you need, every ingredient that you need for success with Senior Life.
That's awesome. And yeah, so I mean, is there anybody you kind of want to give a special thanks to or shout out, anything like that?
Absolutely. God first, as always.
Right.
Definitely, He is my provider, and I don't go anywhere without Him. My husband and
Okay.
my children, my 4 children, and I've already mentioned Billy, Robert, definitely for their continuous guidance, but also my teammate. Man, we have a great teammates with the Pilcher Insurance Agency. You've interviewed Jesse.
Yeah.
We also have Deborah. I think you interviewed
Yeah,
her.
just interviewed her as
Michael
well.
Pozo, Aaron. Those are new,
Yeah, Aaron
fairly new.
Cruz, right?
Aaron
Yeah.
and Anthony. And the thing is, as leaders, we still produce, and it's fun because we compete. I mean, Billy's very good at making us compete against one another, and it's always
Right.
fun, man. When I first started, it was like if you did 5,000 in a week, you're like on cloud 5.
Right.
Now it's like 5,000, you're not even in the top 5. So that
It's that
part
good
is
competition,
amazing,
yeah.
having those kind of top producers that actually bring us up. So yes, thank you to all my teammates, to all my mentors.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's cool to see that after interviewing and talking with so many people in your group, it's cool to see that y'all are still out there doing the work instead of just, like the recruiting. Like you're actually, I mean, you're doing
I
big things.
enjoy
You're all
it.
doing really well too.
I
So
enjoy it
it's
very
really
much
cool to
so.
see.
Absolutely.
But yeah, just thank you so much for joining us
My
and
pleasure.
sharing your
My
story.
pleasure.
Is there any kind of, for anybody that kind of maybe want to get into this opportunity with you, is there any like way they can reach you or whatever areas you're recruiting in, anything like that?
Definitely in Florida. I actually have also agent in Tennessee, and
Okay.
I have a couple in Georgia. So, and wherever, man, you know how it goes.
Yeah,
If you,
national.
if absolutely, if you like what you hear and you like to be mentored by me, please call me 904-891-9828, or you can go to arlexigroup.com, and that is our website, and that's my group name, by the way, our Lexi Group.
Awesome. Well, Niemat, it was good to talk to you. It was very nice to meet you.
Same
And
here.
thank you to everybody at home. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. And be on the lookout for the next All Fired Up podcast.
Fire up.